All right, so let's take a minute here, and I would love for you to. Obviously, we don't want to do any spoilers, but could you pitch me on your book? No, could you let us know about your book, what people might find super interesting about it, and then how they can find it?
I wrote my book because I wanted people to understand that starting Comedy Central, which became, kind of a cultural icon, and I'm very proud of it, was incredibly difficult. And the idea that so many people said no, and when I tell people that in the book, or when they read it in the book, they go, "Really? Somebody said no to comedy, to an all comedy network? That's crazy." But that is what you were up against when you were trying to start something. I also wanted to point out that the idea of a comedy channel for me came from my love of comedy. And it really was about me wanting to work at an all comedy network in a world where there was an all music channel, there was an all sports channel, there was an all documentary channel, an all news channel. Where's the all comedy channel? I just wanted a job. I thought it would be fun to work there. And since there wasn't one, I felt it was important to start it up. So that's how that all got started. But also, it's also about how difficult and how real I could make the difficulty of working in the entertainment industry, how hard it is to make comedy, make entertainment, how brutal it is. One of the things people say to me is, geez, do people really get fired that much? Yeah, they really get fired that much. You know that, Nicole, because you worked a little bit in the business. Yep. People are flying out the window constantly. And it does make it, it does make it harder. And you have to be ready for that. So I spent, after I wrote the book, I spent time talking to students, television students, students who wanted to get in the television business and the film business. And I think, I think that the book is a real good behind the scenes look at the television business. I did not pull my punches. People say, well, did you change names in the book? I changed one name in the book. That was it. Everybody else, that was their name because, hey, you can look them up. So I think that you want to read this book for those reasons, but also because it's funny. I mean, there are funny parts in the book. A lot of people told me they laughed out loud throughout the book. I tried to make it, funny because this is about comedy. Mm-hmm. And it's got, a surprise ending, which I think is worth reading about. Again, the biggest compliment I got on my book was when someone said, I read your book. I gave it to my 23-year-old because they're starting a career, whether it was in television or elsewhere, and they should know what careers look like. Yeah. So I also did. I have to say I just finished the audiobook, and I narrated it myself, which is, they kind of wave you off of that sometimes. Don't narrate your own audiobook.
You're doing your own.
Yeah. But since it was a memoir, this is a memoir, and it's about me and about what I was thinking and feeling. I thought it was important for me to narrate the book. And I found that narrating an audiobook is somewhere between reading out loud, like when you're reading your kid a story, and performing. It's a little bit of a performance piece, but it's not quite, I didn't want to make it a performance piece like an actor doing it.
Right.
Because I've heard those. I didn't like those so much. So I think it came out very well. And so for your listeners who are listening to me talk about comedy and everything else for the last hour or something, if you want to hear another 7.5 hours, check out the audiobook.
Wonderful. And the name is?
The name of the book is Constant Comedy: How I Started Comedy Central and Lost My Sense of Humor.
Wonderful. And it is available on
Amazon, first and foremost, but wherever you can find books online. It is in bookstores, not every bookstore on earth, but it is in a lot of bookstores. And best place to go check things out is my website. Go check out artbellwriter.com. You'll see links to the book, to my podcast, to the audiobook, to other writings I've done. It's kind of a fun place to be. Actually, you started the whole thing with my interview with myself, which a lot of people seem to like. So
it was so simple but so funny. And you obviously didn't break because you're a pro, but
exactly.
that was really wonderful.